Many of you may recognize the two individuals on the screen. And don't worry, I won't be reading this whole time. It's just this beginning part. I really need to follow a very strategic order so y'all can understand this, my method to things. It's to help me get into the flow so I can freestyle. Because honestly, this was actually supposed to be a whole documentary. That's mainly why so much is written down, but I have to start understanding. I'm trying to understand people's psyche right now. Some people prefer to see a face. Some people can entertain a documentary type of slideshow stuff. So let's just do the best of both worlds. Anyway, many of you may recognize the two individuals that's shown on the screen. It's Mary or her child Jesus. Depending on where you live, you may even call her Madonna. And there might be a reason for that. Although we may not see them in this complexion often, there is no question who they are. The real question is, why? Why is their complexion different from what we traditionally are shown in media or churches? Would you believe me if I told you this depiction is the original? 1 second. Let's do this. Boom. Although this is not clear, y'all can see. Let's see. As you can see here, there are the two again. But they're even darker. Many of you will say, okay, and anyone can make a black Jesus painting. This has nothing to do with who they truly look like. End quote. I guess I'm trying to add some type of entertainment, but I'm not that good at it, as you can tell. If this was true, the video would stop here if this just didn't matter, basically. Yet according to scripture, I did not add that in. Ooh, I messed up. I was supposed to add this into my stuff. According to scripture, and I believe it's in, I think Daniel talks about it, I think it's even in Revelations, where they say his skin is like burnt bronze or bronze forged by fire, so even darker than the natural bronze. And they say his hair is like wool, but they were saying it's white. I wish I would have gave you that. I'll look through it later on, but I'm trying to go with the flow right now. But besides all of that, besides the scripture even telling you what? Yeah, I probably already seen it. The Pope, or popes, I didn't know it was more than one. The popes seem to beg to differ. They, well, not differ actually. They agree with this, apparently. They're okay with praying to a black Jesus. I mean, because you can't tell, but they're just a little pink, whatever. Neither one of these are black men. Yeah, I know these are black folk right here. All right, let's see. That being said, oh wait, I said, according to the Pope, this picture is legitimate enough to pray to. And that's interesting because the Pope, basically the head of the Christianic, Catholic, whatever type of denomination, will pray to a depiction of Jesus and his mother way darker than what we even have in our black churches. Go figure. That being said, we can't always trust what the mainstream media has to say. Who knows? It was probably placed there on purpose. But let's just act as if it's always been there, because honestly, it has. That's a clue. Let's move on to the next misconception that I basically been having with things that I've seen in this world. Because my reason for starting this stuff was, I had another note somewhere. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. I got ahead of myself. Let's wait for a second. I got to add this in too. It's to re-elaborate. Let's get things clear. There are a few contributing factors which led me to this presentation. The first is based off the stubborn behavior of my people. By not willing to absorb information that differs from what is previously known. The issue I have with this is most of the information mainly that we hold dearly is based off indoctrination, which the definition is the process of teaching a person or group to accept a set of beliefs uncritically. Notice I said that boldly. In layman terms, force-fed or allowing information without contemplation. If any of you deny what I am saying in my presentation, then you are the result of indoctrination. So please understand, I am aware that you have pre-reserved ideologies which inhibits new information. Even if it's true to these individuals, all I can say, if one is content with a lie, then it is an injustice to themselves and their own kind. If revealing the truth causes confusion or rage and not curiosity and acknowledgement, then that reveals how lost you truly are. How can we be free if we do not care to be unshackled? Look up Stockholm Syndrome. If you think you are not kidnapped, then you're wrong. It's not your body, technically. We won't get into that. But your mind. Your mind was under bondage even before you were born, through your mother and so forth, respectfully. Now let's get back to the presentation. I can tell I love to talk. Let's see. Next. Now, apart from my people's stubbornness and seeing this image online, there was another contributing factor basically on why I'm doing this too. The tip of the iceberg, basically. So let's check it out real quick. Let's see. Make sure I'm not in the way. Make sure everything looks good on the camera, because I don't have a crew, because my baby's in there watching young Sheldon. All right. All right. I don't know how to pronounce this. Quora, I guess. Quora's up here. It's the website. I found this online because before I even knew to do a documentary. Well, no, actually, while I was working on doing a documentary, I came across this question, and I feel like certain things like this, it can't be ironed over too quickly, and it has to be elaborated on or brought out forth. It's different from having it a part of a slideshow than me actually, dwelling on it. But let's hope I don't do it too long. There was a question. Is it true that the Olmecs were Black Africans? The answer to this question was, you crazy supremacist. What would we do without you? Nah, they were East Asians. Can't disprove me. Very bold.
Your people are lost. God will set you free. Stay woke.
That was the answer. That's the best they could do. So that's what the Olmec is, and let me just continue my reading. I found this question online. After reading through various comments, I chose to concentrate my attention on the most ignorant one of them all. Not just because of the blatant disrespect and downplay of my people's movement, struggles, and experiences, but because of the biased perspective that supported with two images. Notice it said two images. He tried to prove something. She, whoever this was, tried to prove a whole existence of a people which doesn't even realize it's related to so many people to this day. They tried to prove it in two images and with with the scoffing or comical or whatever. They tried to be, honestly, they tried to rain on our parade or whatever it was. Who cares? Let me not do that because I'm trying to keep stuff real simple because I hope school teachers can show this to their students. Anyway, image 1 depicts an Olmec statue head. Here it goes. Olmec. I'll get into it to explain. Image 2. This is the alleged East Asian that they were talking about. Image 2 is also a statue, but of a general or ruler of an Oriental heritage. Although one can somewhat agree because of the similarities. If you got imagination, let's go and deal with that, you know. Because of the similarities, you should not accept. Oh, wait. Although one can somewhat agree because of the similarities, you should not accept a stranger's information without doing your own research, especially matters that specifically apply to you and your kind. Let me say that again. Although one can somewhat agree because of the similarities, you should not accept a stranger's information, including myself, without doing your own research, especially matters that specifically apply to you and your kind. Because this is why I'm doing this. I'm not saying you have to do what I'm doing, but it's important to do that because what happens is you will have other people speaking for you. No, we don't like that, do we? Especially when the information is not even true. And I'm talking for me. I'm talking to myself. I'm grown. Let's see what I got next. All right, it's time to see. Let me explain. You read this real quick. I zoom in. Let's see. I said, well, look at that Chinese person right there. They put the image up there on purpose. I put that image way at the end of this presentation. It's in the stock pad, but they had to put that right there too. But it's fine because I got them. I got y'all and I got them. Let's take a dive to understand who exactly the Olmec people are. Before we do, let me be clear. I will verify my information by what I find online. I am aware of how the internet can influence or falsify information. So I have compared multiple sources. I already did the work, y'all. And I'm not saying that it's going to stop, but I'm showing y'all the work. It's going to be something different. But anyway, I got to stop doing that. So I have compared multiple sources of information to come with the most common or reasonable answer. If one chooses to discredit my evidence due to this matter, it exposes that the individual had pre-reservations, and I said that before, and never intended to accept new information. Let us not act as if books are safe from manipulation. We are in the age of information, so do not judge me for thoroughly utilizing this fact. Now that that's out the way, the Olmec people reside many centuries ago in South America. They were in power. Well, let's say they started to be in existence. Actually, I saw a source. This is what I mean by comparing multiple sources because I want to check myself. It said they came to existence around 1600s, the 1600s, which all that means is we don't know. Because I saw it said 1600, 1400, and then you see 12 right here. And they could be well even before any of that. That's just the first they have some form of evidence or record, if you can even say that. But they were in power or existence around the 1600s, which is where they appeared through 400 BCE. 16 BC, 400 AD. Depending on which one you could go off of. Before Christ, after Christ, or before Christ and Nomus Domini, whatever they call it. I don't know. Before Christ, after death, I think. AD. I don't know. Yeah. Some say this civilization is the mother country or culture of many other cultures that appeared nearby. Although some argue they were older than, or they are, let me see, they are older, some argue that they are not older than I believe the Mayans. I think they said the Mayans came first or whatever. But upon researching deeper, I found an excerpt from the Washington Post stating the same idea that the Olmecs derived from Asians. So let's go to China so that we all can critically examine the Chinese phenotype to the Olmec statue. It's an Olmec statue. Oops. I ruined the presentation. Olmec statue. Olmec statue. Olmec statue head. You can see, right? Now, let's go to Asia. Uh-oh. I think I made a mistake. Nah, I didn't. Asian. Asian. This tribe, I'll find it later on. Didn't write it down. As y'all can tell I'm all over the place. They're Asian, but let's see. Hold on. That's where we at. Oh, that's right. You didn't know they had natives, or let's say dark people, let's not even say natives, with the complexion of an African or a black person. You don't believe me? How about this image? Y'all look at that for yourself. Oh, it's black and white. So it's hard to deter if the contrast is legitimate. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going. It's almost done. I only got like 2 more sentences. I'm not reading this no more. So as you can tell, basically, come on, Chinese, Asian, or whatever you want to say. We mainly go off their eyes, okay? Noses, they differ. They can have some that's like more of this petite, smaller version, and I could say he got a big nose or whatever you want to say. Mouths really like, it depends. Some of them actually have lips. She got lips. Actually, her lips is more fuller than hers. But, as you can tell, if literally this person's skin color changed to that, if this skin color changed to that and her skin color changed to hers, they would look just like the regular Asians, right? So when we see things like this, we actually have to start we need to start thinking and start going and reading certain things, because what we know is apparently not what reality is. Although it's black, you need more evidence? Oh, I know some of y'all hate black and white photos because y'all think that's not even legitimate enough. And that proves, because y'all can tell when people who won't even accept this, you can tell that they haven't looked at these images enough, because when you look at a black and white images, things that are white are going to be as white as possible, but things that are black, brown are going to be more of that hue. I do know that there are images of white people who may have a tan or not, who may look dark, but let's just trust me on this one, at least. Basically, in so many words, I was trying to say that the black complexion covers majority of the globe. Now that we are out of this, ooh, that was hard. I should have read that before I started. And I proofread days ago, and I still didn't apparently do that right. Now, let's see. What about this image right here? What do y'all see? Can't ignore it. You already know who we're talking about. Why are these black women amongst these Chinese individuals? Why? How? Actually, how could they? Chinese people, whatever tribe or whatever they are, whatever, they cannot be black. Not by how society depicts them to be. It ain't the case. But look, not only do they look alike, they're in the same clothing. What about these children? Don't worry, like I said, I'll give y'all the names of the tribe later on, because now it's about to get a little bit more presentation freestyle flowing, so I can skip around and stuff more. Look at the eyes. I told y'all, we go out the eyes. So for the ones that's back home from where I'm from, Dallas, shout out. I can't throw it up. There you go. We have people who look like this. We do. Look at the hair. Now you got Chinese eyes with black people hair. How is that possible? I mean, y'all wonder why we like anime so much. All right. Don't she look real familiar, don't she? Hey, old dude probably was right. The Olmecs probably was African. I mean, what you call it? Look at that. Can't stop the rain. Can't stop the rain. Some more different variations of the phenotype. Now we're starting to get a little bit more different. We seeing, okay, sister got some thick lips too though. Nice full, but you start to see more bold or African features on them. The hair is more, coarse. We're not gonna say the derogatory word they always say, but they have a more coarse hair texture, but it looks very thick. These hair strands are very thick, and I haven't even noticed that at first. That still plays into part because, thick hair correlates with certain ethnicities that differ from, African Americans or whatever. We tend to have thinner, maybe not all of us, but some of us have thin, fine, or soft hair. Believe it or not, yeah, soft. You just don't know how to take care of it. More indigenous people in Asia. Now, this cat right here in the middle, I have to hold my horses on because to me he looks black as far as the skin complexion, but I have to pay attention to the black and white concept, black and white images to where when you think about it, he could pass for one of the yellowish type of hues, but we all know yellow is still a variation or a diluted version of black or brown, but yeah. How about this brother though? Homie black and he Chinese. His eyes tighter than his. I don't know who she is. They threw her in the mix, but I mean, shawty, she got that black and white thing going on. She probably is from there. And we'll get into it on why she may have this European type of phenotype to her. It's a reason why she's probably from this specific tribe I'm about to talk to next. These young ladies. Only person to me that may be more yellow is her. Everybody else, black, brown, whatever you want to say. Even her. Even if she not, it doesn't matter. We still got two more. You can't tell me they not. Can't tell me they not. These people that y'all done grew up and went to church with, they look like this. Basically, Let's keep it pushing. Now we're going somewhere else different. This is to coincide with this whole theory of that Olmec statue is not African, because when you look at this baby, when you look at this child, and then look at this statue, see the eyes, got that almond shape, I guess, eye. We ain't gonna focus too much on the nose. Look at the baby nose, y'all. Look at the baby nose. Look at the eyes. So not only did the Asians look black, are black actually. At least the ancient ones did, or the ones that's in hiding, or the ones that's been hidden are black. But we also have Africans that's lighter than the Asians that I even showed y'all that still look Asian. that don't even look like the traditional African that you would think in There's no traditional African look, honestly. Pops up here, Asian. All these people look Asian. I'm not about to keep going through this. I'm just gonna really just breeze through this now. I'm not gonna elaborate too much on it. Look at her. Asian. Another Asian. Like literally, I know people personally who parent or they look like these people. Now, the Ainu people. These are people that reside in Japan. The Ainu are the indigenous people of the islands surrounding the Sea of Okhotsk. I don't know how to say that, including the Hokkaido Islands, Northeast Honshu Islands. It don't matter. They over around the block in the corner. Before the arrival of the Yamato and Japanese, Russian. Boom. Okay. They were basically here before the arrival of the Yamato, Japanese, and Russian people, which is kind of strange because it's basically saying that these are the original people of Japan, unless they're just saying that the Yamato was a division that came from the Ainu people. But yeah, let's keep going. The Ainu are an indigenous ethnic group of people who lived in the Hokkaido in Japan today, as well as Russia. Pay attention to Russia. They mentioned Russia twice. At first, when I read this, I thought that they were saying that they are mixed with the Japanese or something in Russian, which they are, when I'll show y'all later, but now they are. But yeah, Russia plays a part into it. But boom, these are the Ainu people. These are Japanese people. Japanese people tend to me, from what I know, is they have more of a structured facial structure. I think it's the cheekbones. I think plays a part. Asian, Chinese people may have a more rounder face, circular face or whatever. And it seems like Japanese people featured. I think it's the cheekbone and stuff like that. I don't know. Who knows? Here they are. Look at the hair. Look at the hair. Now you see him over there. I don't know where they found him from. He probably black too though. Oh, there you go. He probably black too, but he needs some hair like them because he can't see. Hopefully these are not wigs, but I highly doubt that, And if it were wigs, they probably got it from the Egyptians anyway. Let's see. Boom. She's an Ainu. That's just black, y'all. She's not white. Yellow, whatever you want to say, light skin. No, she's not my complexion or brighter. I know. Now these are Ainu as well, but notice when they said that there was Russian somewhere in the mix, and that's going to be the big point. That's going to be a big contributing factor. More Ainu people allegedly. Let's say that then, since can't trust the internet and stuff. More Ainu people. If you start trusting something, at least yourself, after you do evidence or research. Black folk. Another one. Black woman. Got some more images. I think these are the same. See, they are mixing. So arrange Asli. I think that's the native Chinese. I think that was a girl. I think that was a girl with her child, I believe. Or a young woman with her child. So they just mixed it in, because they got it mixed in though. So y'all can't, I don't want y'all to be like, see, you don't know what he talking about, because they got Marcus Garvey down there. They just be ready to debunk somebody and from your chair, not even doing anything else. We just gonna sit there and debunk me. More alleged, Ainu people. Oh, I'm sorry. Arrange Southeast Asia, y'all. Excuse me. I won't even too much chime in on their names. Let's just look at the phenotypes, because this is what it's about. Boom. Now, this is interesting now. Now, this is the depiction of what the Ainu honestly doesn't even look like today, but this is one of the older pictures that they said this is Ainu. Right here is the tattoo around her mouth. Oh, Lord. Why did they choose to make it black? And it is black. I'll show you. As we know, which I will be explaining a little bit later, pale skin and blue eyes are recessive. So any person who is bright is technically recessive. Have a recessive gene. I know people, Wikipedia can't trust them, but hey, gotta do something, huh? Gotta start somewhere, right? If you be worried about debunking everything, then what are you really learning? Now, notice how his skin color is getting brighter, but it's still like it still got some the melanin. Let's say the melanin contents are more present than his lighter counterpart. Let's not use the traditional saying. Still got melanin, because we all have melanin. It's just some of us got more, some of us don't. Some of us make. It says he's the Shekan Oye no Tamuruno, Black Shogun of early Japan. Wait a minute, they said Black Shogun. Black Shogun. But y'all can see how it's starting to change though, right? Those who are familiar with the Russian phenotype, and I forgot to get those images. Because they're right by it. Russia's like right above them. This is supposed to be Ainu right here though. So we have the Ainu who are the black people. Who is this? Who is that? Who is this? This looks like Stroganona. Whatever they. What's the Russian name for grandmama? Yabushka. I don't know. Look at her. Look at her. Ain't no way. If I knew who the Ainu people was and I came back later, ain't no way I'm gonna say that is. I'm gonna say that's an imposter. But I can't debunk her heritage, and I can't say she's not from there, because she's very much from there. But when we want to talk about the bloodlines, let's just say she is a variant. Let's just say that she's not the only Ainu phenotype. Because what you start to find out is a pattern when you do this, and we will get into all of it. There goes another person who's alleged Ainu. You see that some of the images are starting to be more modern. You could tell that this image is old. It doesn't have to be black and white, but you could tell this is an older image, but still, it could have been shot in the 70s or the 60s. The other images were way older than that. Look at her eating her barbecue or playing her flute. I don't know what she's doing, making an arrow, making a necklace. I don't know what she's doing, but she got that tattoo around her lips. Living her best life, huh? I don't want to just sit here and just say that she's an imposter and stuff, but you start to think of these things when you start to see a contrast with the people. Look at Billy Ray Cyrus Jr. Images of Ainu people. All I can say is he most likely was born there. But what's really in the blood? Older image of an Ainu person. But look at the hair texture, y'all. Look. These are Russians. I'm not sitting here about to just go into other races and stuff. I'm strictly trying to stick to my people who look like me. But we cannot sit here and ignore these things. I mean, I can't just sit here and just skate over these things. Why are these people here when we know good and well that they were once black? Where did they come from? These have a Eurasia. These look like Eurasians or whatever it is. If that, it just look like regular, white folk to me. It's like, why would they even make their mouths why would they make it black? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Conspiracy. It's a conspiracy. The Ainu have been considered to descend from the diverse Homon or Jomon people who lived in northern Japan from the Jomon period. Children of the sun came. That's interesting. The Anu lived in this place 100,000 years before the children of the sun came. I forgot who the children of the sun would be, man. Well, I guess that's the name that they give the people who be bright, huh? Because they treat them godly anyway. See. People are unclear, but according to the Richard, it's talking about when they got here. The Anu are an indigenous ethnic group of people. Oh, I probably shouldn't have put in emphasis on it. I was thinking that like urban, my bad. Yeah, same information. Same. It's people of Japan. I should have did this last week. I would have came out way more harder than this. The Anu exhibit a variation of phenotypes ranging from Caucasian to East Asian. What about the black folks, with the most having an intermediate appearance, Eurasian? Remember that? I said that a second ago. Many Anu men have abundant, wavy hair and often long beards. There's an image too. Oh, here you go. Look at that black. Nope, ain't no black man. That's a white man. Look at that. You see that right there? I guess that's supposed to be his nose or something. I don't know. This is a white man covered with hair. So when you see something like this and you see so many variations, you start to think there's some type of genetic manipulation going on. Not intentionally, just probably through settling or whatever. But, to go back to the whole, we came from monkeys, or apes and stuff like that. If that is true, then one can probably think really like, well, who in particular? Because if we can also prove that we did, because some say we came from apes, some people say we don't come from that. So if both our statements are true, then it's really the opposite. So who are the primates? Last time I checked, a monkey covered from top to bottom in hair, and when you shave them, they pink. Not all. We got the dark skin, the black people, gorillas and stuff. But hey, leave it up for you to decide. It says the Anu of Japan, the religion, superstition, and general history of the hairy aborigines or whatever, I forgot to say it, of Japan. Yeah, apparently they all went down here. 1892. This was in 1892. They ain't take pictures of everybody. This is a Philippine mother, I believe. Yeah. Indigenous Philippines. And I just threw them in just a little bonus or whatever. Just to show you, like, got it. Somebody telling lies. Now, we're in India. Look at this child. Confidently black. But she's from India, and we know that Indians are black people as well as the lighter counterparts. The recessive counterparts, actually. An Indian woman from back in the day. Looked like her grandmama, or what could be, or whatever. I don't know. I'm just saying. Just showing that, our genes is just that. It's just like that. I don't know. Just similar coincidences, I guess. I'm so sorry. I'm picking my teeth, y'all. More dark-skinned Indians. These are the Duridian or something like that people. You look it up. Just look it up. Duridian people. They say that they are the alleged original people there. Now look at these folks. Look at the goat. It says Shanhalis mixed Aryans. Iranian or Aryan. I don't know. I thought Aryan had more word letters in it. That man still look black. This man don't look black, but he could be a light-skinned brother, basically. Look at this woman, though. Look at her. Durden. He's Durden. He's, I can't see that. Yakaliga. Mixed. I didn't even know that. Hindu. Mixed. I guess Aryan or something. Arayan or something. Aryan. I'm just adding stuff. I need to go back to school. But you see the folks that say mixed, even though he's the most mixed person that looks black. But notice how they're being honest. These are mixed. And this is the real deal. And this is the real deal. And this is not. Because when you see people who look like this, don't pay attention to the man's forehead and stuff. But when you see people who typically look like this, you think that this is the common source or these are the common people. But this photograph or whatever, the comparison is showing you, or they're explaining of who is the mixed ones. Who is the mixed ones? The mixed ones, and who is the original? But we always told that people who look like this are the people who are the original. Let's move on. Dravidian, something. Boom. This ain't taking shots to people when I say recessive genes, because apparently, I guess any type of lighter eyes are recessive, even though this is still in the brown spectrum. But it ain't taking shots. It's just being honest. We gotta start being honest, like really honest, even about stuff like this. We gotta be honest to the fact that we can't keep calling this individual the original people of India and stuff, Hindu people or whatever. I thought that was a religion or something. I don't know. Same thing. We ain't gotta elaborate on too much on them. But it's one thing that I wanted to note that I noticed though while looking through the photos of the Indian people. Dravidian. It's one thing that I've noticed. I got to mix. Mix with what? Anything else besides black, probably. Look at the child. Look at the children. Uh-oh. See? I ain't gonna zoom in. Told you I ain't trying to spend too much time on. Boom. There we go. Now we're starting to see. This is the original. These are OGs though, right? So who is that? She looking like, bruh. Alright. Look at the Dale down there. Someone like. I can't think of a joke right now. Sorry. Oh no, that's just somebody doing Halloween. She doing Halloween. Y'all say that she dressed up for Halloween, but then y'all say right here, oh, this Indian woman right here is so pretty. Even it could be proven that this woman probably just had a wig on or something, because she's like a sister, because she is a sister. It's like, still, look at her. Look at her phenotype. Look at this woman's phenotype. If you change her skin to her right down here, they will look like basically like sisters or whatever. Then she would be legitimate. If she was white. Let's just say that. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's all I'm gonna say. Hey, who does this look like? That little boy off of what, Sweet Like Zack and Cody used to guest star and stuff like that? I don't know who. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Some little boy that be running around Disney, used to run around Disney Channel. For those in my generation. This is all, my only thing that I'm doing, the thing that I'm doing with this is just I'm done with the old formal way of doing things. It's just, I'm just trying to put y'all, I'm just trying to show y'all basically. Indus Valley. I guess that's area now. That's how you spell it. Okay. This woman here in particular is interesting, and I didn't get the picture. Look up women from Chad in Africa, in the African continent. She just reminded me of that, not just because of the red undertone hue or whatever. It was just like her hair. It reminded me of the Chad women. And what you would notice is that different cultures influences others, whether if it was by invasion or just being a descendant. And I'll show that and how that even has effects till this day, or at least the people that's closely related to you. Why they do that? We can't even say that this boy is not indigenous though, because at first, you know, when I first saw this, I was like, who let their little kid out here in this costume? But if you actually pay attention to him and look at his hair, see his eyes seem like they're red or whatever, and he got this white hair. And he looks, or she, I don't know what's going on, but albino. And that's what we will start to see in a second. I'm trying to see what these people are over here. And look, he wants the attention too. Listen. Come on, y'all. I ain't trying to make no point with that. I'm just pointing that stuff out, though. Just pointing it out. That's all I'm doing. She kind of reminds me of a woman from Chad, because her hair has this luster to it. Boom. This is something I really wanted to not miss over, and I'm glad I didn't. Because last time I was looking through this, I was hoping. Picture of ancient black Buddha. He was a revolutionary freedom fighter prince against the Aryan, I don't know, Hindu caste system that oppressed and exploited the indigenous black Indians. Moving on. Boom. This is where I wanted to get to. It took me a minute. Look at that. Recessiveness. Just recessive and can't help it. Look at that. We'll think of these white folk though, whatever, and then we'll look at them and like, oh yeah, but that's black. You still black. This is your hair. Your hair. Look at your hair. But we don't understand that even. There's two theories on why there's white people or whatever. Some say that this, or it's, I ain't gonna say just two. Some say that it's the mutation of the albino mutation or whatever, and these people become abundant or whatever. It doesn't matter if it's just one. They mate with somebody that causes that influence to where, you know, whatever. I know, like they say that genes work out in a way that, depending on how it affected the host or whatever, it may not affect the offspring, but it just varies though. We still have the ability of making white people. This is probably his mother or her mother. I don't know, because, you know, people cut their hair down. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. But, let's see. Black mother in Brazil with her 5 children, three of which are albino. The father is black also. Man, y'all, these kids are white. It ain't even just the fact that they're albino now. I know it because the hair is playing a part. Look at the boy. Just look at him, though. He look like Billy or something. This is Billy. I wasn't even trying to go to Brazil. I don't have nobody in Brazil. These are the only Brazilians I got. He looked like Fabian, whatever. And then this is Billy right here, beside him. That's his brother. And both of their parents are black. Moving on. Like somebody I know. But in the male respect, I guess. Let's get away from it. All right, one more. Albino sisters born 12 years apart, stunned the world with their whatever whiteness, because they find it so great, you know? It's just skin, y'all. Don't think that. Come on. This little girl here is it Tibet? Turkish. She's from Turkey. Now notice how she may not necessarily come off as albino, but she can. It's just her hair is dark or whatever. So it doesn't get off that albino. You just think, oh, she's just a white version of something. But if this little girl skin color was black, then y'all would say, oh yeah, that's a little black girl. Face of poverty. Intimate portraits of Indian paupers reveal face of poverty. They'll show the black woman and the black people and the elder, but they won't show this to be the face of poverty. Even though they could be black, their parents could be black, most likely. Because I'm not gonna lie, I still see black people, white folk today, and I saw one white woman with a big old black birthmark on her. So it's not even to say that white people don't have melanin and stuff like that. Not even, I can't explain that stuff too much because this is not about genes or nothing in particular. I'm just going off the physical features. I'm really not trying to go inside, but it's like, we do know white people can have some type of whatever type of blackness through their genetics. Whatever, I don't know, but it's just, they're not going to show, even if she was black down here, they're not going to show any of these as the face of poverty, but they'll show her. Just because she's aged. Because she don't look poor to me. Even if she is, I'm not saying she's not. She don't look poor to me. She's just aged. The disrespect, man. The disrespect. Get King Tut down. Boom. This is interesting because I wanted to explain more about how did white people come about, and I think I was supposed to explain that. Oh yeah, I was trying to explain like it's either they were like they're a whole different type of race or species of human white people, or they are our children basically, the descendants from us or whatever, due to genetic mutations, environmental influences, whatever. But I wanted to find a black person who phenotypes kind of correlated with a white person to where it's like you can kind of see like, oh, where this stuff is coming from. But when you see images like this and stuff, these folk and stuff, it's like, well, you can't see where they come from, or Shawty do up with her kids. Nah, this really worked. This has to be where black folks from. So all they have to do, even though they got the albino gene in them, and she do too, but the pops did, whoever. But all they gotta do is just. Billy gotta just find him a woman or something, I don't know, have a kid, and then the kid may end up coming out like her. She could probably still end up being bright like Billy, but she got blacker hair from her mama. And that's how it can go about. I know that though. There she go, I should've just went there. Boom, now we're talking about the Australian people, Aussie people, or whatever, Aborigine, or the Tasmanian folk too. I think these folks are from Tasmania or Australia. I don't know. I think Tasmania is in Australia, or it's like, like this is the information that I need y'all to go back and make sure. There's some uncertainty, but Tasmania, I think it is in Australia or it's close to it, but they're all one and the same. Let's see. Whew. Same thing. Let's just say a woman from Australia, a girl from Australia, little boy from Australia. And not only do y'all see that black people can have white skin, but black people can have blonde hair, which we thought that was only correlated with white people. Let me make sure my recording's still going. Can't stop the rain. I'm already an hour in. Let's wrap this up. I believe he's from Tasmania. Mind you, this hair is just a genetic code. Just like y'all saw the black people in Asia with the straight hair, the hair was looking more straight or whatever, with the loose wave. They got basically black folk hair, some a little more looser curls or whatever. Like this is looser, but it's darker. But then this is with the N word, not the bad word, but well, they both bad, but the other that correlates with hair. This is just more coarse hair, and you wouldn't think that a black person would have hair like that. My son had majority blonde hair, and it's like closer to that. Actually, I believe that's like how his hair is right now. And we ain't gonna talk about him. We just gonna leave him out of this, because then that's gonna really throw y'all for a loop, man. This right here, I was just trying to see about the, since so many people wanted to talk about we are Israelites and things of this matter, or we're African. I was just trying to find like a timeline of things, or maybe I was trying to prove something, I don't know. Hittite member of the ancient Indo-European people who appeared in Natalia at the beginning in the second millennia BCE. BCE. By 1340 BCE, they had become one of the dominant powers of the Middle East. But notice it says Indo-European. And then it said Middle East, so we're thinking about the Arabs now at this point. And it's like, it's the same thing with the Indian people. You can technically be of the original people if you are two types of people. So if it says Indo-European, and we know that Indo-Indian are black people also, it's like these two have to come together to make a Hittite. Oh, well, I didn't even say that right. Hittite. Sorry, y'all. Stay in school. This is why I still try to study to this day, because you get dumb out here if you don't try to learn things. The point I'm trying to make is, one of these people had to migrate to a certain area just for this type of people to exist. This is the offspring of two different races of people. But that's already telling me that these aren't the original people in that area, though. They had become one of the dominant powers of the Middle East. I didn't get an image of them. I think I was trying to talk about, these are the Hittites. My bad, I think I said it right there. I said Hittites. Please stand still. The Bible says the Hittites were descendants of Ham, one of Noah's sons. Hittites rose to great power and prosperity during the 14th to the 11th centuries and became the powerful Hittite Empire. Their enemies were Egyptian and Assyrians, and the unnamed sea peoples who invaded them from the Mediterranean Sea. I'm laughing because y'all have to look at who the sea people are. It's nothing funny about them. It's just they were something else, though. That's all. Yeah, up for y'all to see, because y'all need to understand it better, because my reading is poor. Go ahead. All right, let's move on. Let's see what I got next, because I don't know. We're learning together at this point, since I didn't forgot my presentation. The Arabs were originally the people of the Arabian Desert, converted to Islam in the 7th century AD. They conquered the Middle East from the Sasanian and Byzantine empires and established a succession of Arab Islamic Middle Eastern empires from Spain to Central Asia and from the Caucasus to India. Oh. This is the Arab though, y'all. It said 1932. Arab. Oh, same man. He said Arabs. I'm gonna see one of them that's bright. Literally only one. Man in the middle. I don't know if he's visiting. Oh, excuse me. Or he's with them. All black men. Black men, and a boy down there. Wait, ooh, no, shit. I didn't know that was there. Black. Oh, man. Interesting story I heard of, speaker, who passed away. Oh, I feel so bad. Dr. Muhammad. it Khalil or Khalid? I feel so bad because y'all gonna banish me now because I can't get his name right. But he spoke about how Malcolm X, when he finally came to his senses and said, I traveled to the city of Mecca and I can say that the white men are my brothers. And he was just so spellbound because they were just so nice to him and stuff like that. And I believe that wasn't his first time going, or maybe it was. That's probably why he just felt like that. But Dr. Muhammad said, Brother Muhammad said, when I went there, I seen nothing but, the lighter counterparts being mean to our people, the original people of that land. The poor people were the black folks, and the white people were the rich folks. It's just the ones that was well off, middle class, whatever you want to call it. There was even a tribe of Arab people who I don't know if they came from Africa and they settled there or something. I don't know, but there's a certain race of those people who live in there. They actually castrate these men. The men are very timid and stuff, but in so many terms, it's like, how can y'all even treat the original? If y'all supposed to be all about peace and love or whatever, or even represent Allah, y'all don't even treat your mothers and fathers right. I'm not to say that to be disrespectful or nothing. It's just the truth. Of course, the person that I'm born after I can't be their father, but to my genetic wise, if we apparently are the original people of these lands, we don't even get treated right. And yes, everything that I'm saying is going to go full circle, so don't worry. I know a dude that look like this. My boy Austin. This is where you get that Eurasian stuff from. Even if he's from here, you mixed, not original. As we can all see. It's a painting. Throwing up gang signs. He's a. Oh yeah, I think I can't say this no more. I think I said the N word probably already. But yeah, he's a hooligan. Drop phone.
They must be from Africa.
He looked like. Never mind. Look at him though. What he looked like? An imposter. That's what he looked like. Now we're in Hawaii. This is the queen of Hawaii. This is her when she got older. Very beautiful young and older woman. May you rest in power, ancestor. All my ancestors that I've shown. Another person from Hawaii. Yes, general or king. I should say king first. King or general. Official, nevertheless. Women. I know a woman who looks like this, actually. Good friend of my mama and myself, actually. Same woman, queen of Hawaii. Young woman of Hawaii. Hawaii. And then these are just maybe the starting to be lighter counterparts, but they still seem to me black. Because like, what true native Hawaiians really look white in the first place? Y'all seen Moana? All right. This individual, this is a no, he's Mexican. He's Mexican. I couldn't even do it. I couldn't even deliver that right. Got too excited. He's a comedian. He made a joke because everybody says that, oh man, you from Hawaii? Da, 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 da. And he's like, nah, man, I'm Mexican or whatever. That plays a big part though. It's a very big part. But as you can see though, he don't really his skin color, but he really don't actually look too similar to them. In a way he can. But jawline is not as bold, even though he got a little weight around it, but still. Look at her jawline. Hers is more on the softer spectrum, but still, I mean, in a way, like I said, he can be still related, but it's ironic. Eskimos now. Eskimos settle what is known as Alaska, nearly 2,500 years ago, the natives had become people who lived inland. I'm not saying that or that. Hate us. Preferred life near the Pacific. The Inuits stayed to the north and northwest, where the Arctic Ocean provided food in the summer and fall. That's irrelevant. You see how you just throw extra stuff in just to talk about? Eskimo folk. Eskimo is the term used to refer to two closely related indigenous people, the Inuit, which I just said, including the Alaskan Inupiat, and the Greenlandic Inuit, and the Canadian Inuit, and the Yupik or Ute of the Eastern Siberian and Alaska. So they're just saying they mixed with the Inuit and the Yupik. You pick, yeah, you pick people. You pick which one gonna be the answer. That's how they do, just pick around. The man, if I seen this brother first, I think he was from Japan or something. Little boy, his hair look froze and wet. They should do something about that. Or they drawed it on. Look Asian, but these are the Eskimo people. Look how they are tighter than the Chinese folk. But, you know, that could be just because of they squinting their eyes though too. And it could be a form of evolution because humans do evolve. You know, when they're over there in that snow gets bright when that sun is beaming down on it. So who knows what oh man, he's just miserable. What's going on? Alright. Moving on. That's just a Chinese man with black skin. Asian with black skin. I don't know if he dirty, but let's just say he black. Here we go now. Here we go. Here we go. That recessive now starting to kick in. You can see the recessive now, like right now. You can see it. I got the black people in the back and the white folk up front. I'm sure it's not like that though. Hopefully they had more sense back then, but who knows? Interesting. Oh, I know what this probably was, because 9 times out of 10 they didn't have no camera. Not saying that they didn't, but they didn't care to have a camera or that technology. A reporter must have came out. Let's get y'all three up front, sit down, and the rest of you get in the back. See that how that manipulation is? She looking like, bro, y'all better not lie on me, bro. Recessive. Moving on. I don't even know what to say. This is child abuse, honestly. Oh wait, that's right there. It's child abuse, but nevertheless. Why y'all got colors and he baby naked? Even he chilling. He looking like, bro, I gotta do that next, bro. I said I wasn't gonna be trying to do no entertainment. See what happens if you stay along the ride. Then you probably get what you actually want. This stuff is important. He just pop twerk mode. That's probably how he got dark. No, he was born like that. That foil didn't do nothing to it. That foil was just for reflecting, I think, the sun light off or something, or I think it keeps the heat in, something like that. Who knows? I hope he ain't going nowhere in that boat. Recessive. Yeah, recessive. All right. Finally, we made it to America. And I'll be showing the map later on to explain just a little bit, because this is basically to the end. Let's see. Not necessarily. Everything that I said in this presentation, now apply this to America. The only problem is they didn't hide us necessarily. They did through records. Check out Dane Calloway to understand that, how they did that stuff. But they replaced us or ignored us. Look at Keisha up here. This is Keisha. She looked like Keisha. But she has on indigenous clothing. This child. Look at these people down here. This is important too. Bro, man, that's how they probably was going to church. Or was told to go to church or something. I'm not sure. They just, rock with their heritage. He don't wear his festive wear or something. But they modernized and they changed it up. That modern stuff, or when they were switching around and starting to be more advanced in America, it affected the indigenous people who looked like me, because that's where the indoctrination, or I guess assimilation, asylum, or whatever, stuff plays into, where they slowly but surely took this stuff out of us. We went from wearing the wear to wearing suits. Interesting. Boom. This phenotype is the most interesting one, because this phenotype looks just like the red man that we say is the indigenous people, but you can tell that he's darker. Oh, look at him. It's a nice costume for Halloween. Sure. Who does look like? I'm not gonna do that. But still, cheekbone wise, y'all, my big cheekbones ain't necessarily as big as his, but they not small, especially when I smile. But he don't got to smile. This is all him, natural. Jawline. I do have like a dimple. I tried to shave last night, but you can't see. I actually got like a small dimple in my chin too. My jawline is not gentle, It may not be on like how you think Johnny's is the best, but it's still, what's the word? Prominent, relevant. It's there. This is where the recessiveness starts to kick in, though, y'all. But this is where the indoctrination does too. See little boys with the suits? They ain't kind of explaining much of how they go for the children. They go for the kids. Why are they taking a picture? You got a whole crown on. Let's just say that. Oh, excuse me. You got the regular wear, but then you got your kids, your grandkids, or whatever, in shirt and tie. Why is that? That's a real easy way to forget who you are, because we sure don't know now. And that's what we'll be having us going to school when we were children, talking about I got Cherokee in my family, I got Creek in my family. And then we got other folks who just are Indian too, native. No, you don't. You from Africa, you know what they say. And you could they darker than him. But that's probably the grandpa, daddy or something. The grandma. So I'm not trying to say that people who look like this aren't native. Y'all just not the only ones. So now we have people, when I say we have been the laughing stock of the world, and even our own kind. I've seen it where a native woman said, y'all not about to y'all not about to invade on my culture. Y'all say that y'all were Africans. Now y'all saying y'all need to make up y'all mind, but y'all not about to be. Hold on now, you are my child. You are from us. Because even though these are two of the same people, it still have to start somewhere. This can't exist out of nowhere. This has an origin. This comes from that. So when you see women, notice the locks. She has the locks. Nothing dreaded about it. She has the locks, just like the locks of the Indian man. Wait, when I show from India, look at Big Mama and stuff. Look at Taylor. Look at Addie Mae. Look at Mary, and then Rosa Parks Jr. All these women are wearing maybe the same thing, but or different things. But it don't have nothing to do with your clothes. It don't have nothing to do with what's running through your blood. And I want to make a good point. Y'all wanna know why? When they say, but when we do ancestry, and we check his people who look like his DNA, and then we check yours, there's a difference. If y'all check all these people DNA, and it comes out, you know, it has a certain type of constant relationship, and then you dub them as the original people. When you do check people like this, it's gonna be a little different or a lot different. Not only can you become this bright because of just through genetics, but you can also do it through breeding. That's why they call them Eurasians over there in that side of the world, because they were mixed. So I've already shown you how it can happen through not necessarily showing you, but showing you examples of what happens of just two people, you know, having white kids or whatever, because it's through albino. But this can also be through breeding. Two black Indians. I don't know what too much to say about this. Clearly you can see that these are Indian. And this is the child. But then you'll think, oh, she must have been a slave. And perhaps maybe. It could. Let me make sure. Still good? All right. Almost done. I just really want to get to this map example to explain the breeding concept. But this child here, the way they did things back in the day were they just kidnapped people. They kidnapped, or they took over a village and they just made somebody their servant or something. I'm not gonna explain it too much, but this is kind of questionable, because I do want to know why this child is here. I should have clicked the link. I didn't even see that. Some of these images I'm just now seeing, like the ones that's multiple ones. This woman in particular is related to these two individuals. I think that's their grandmother or something. Okay. Or no, that's his mother or something. I forgot. I'm so sorry, y'all. Because I think Elizabeth is saying that he was also native too. And if he was, he don't even look real, honestly. It looks European. I thought it was a white man or something. But nevertheless, she's still related to the Indians, and he's Indian too. When you see her, you automatically supposed to say that she's Indian, but we can't, because this looks like a woman that just goes to church every day who says, I'm a proud African American. But when you see somebody like that, now we got a picture in color now, who's darker, who has the same phenotype as the red man, because their phenotypes are not necessarily the same. Theirs relate. They have, like, similarities, but they're not the same. When you see that, and then you see the bright ones, it's just like, wait a minute, something is going on here. Part of the reason why I'm even doing this is because a lot of y'all gonna say, why does this even matter? Because there were things that were stripped from us because we allowed people to tell us who we were. That's why I say it's important to do your own research and not take just the word from people who basically don't have nothing to do with you, but they speaking for you. That's the reason why I'm doing this. We had or have land still to this day. Johnny Mae Austin, whose grandfather was Creek to the bone, is a plaintiff in the Creek freedman suit. Believe it or not, I was told that I have Creek in my family too. Anyway, when you see women like this, you automatically be like, nah, you ain't no Indian. What you talking about? This a Indian. You know why? You know why we look like this? Because I have a screenshot somewhere, but I'll just tell you, you go look it up. Look up how many blacks or how many Africans were taken from Africa. The number will come up to 12 million. Then look up how many Indians died or were killed. It's going to say 12.5 million. So why would we, and then let's be honest, the Indians were killed. I said it backwards. The Indians were killed before the blacks was brought over. Because they did bring Africans over, but it was different from what we thought. It was a way more, less aggressive way than what we thought. It was more of trading going on. It wasn't even called the slave trade or whatever. It was called the Mediterranean Atlantic. I don't know. But anyway, why would they sit there and kill the same amount of people and bring over another, like, oh my God. If I just shown y'all that black people are everywhere on the, or majority places of the world, almost 100% of the world we live in, almost, maybe, or we actually come from, or whatever. But then you get here and the same thing applies, so you see the same pattern, but then you look at the history and see that they killed 12.5 Indians, but brought over 12 million Africans. That doesn't make sense. That's like having one ice cream, not eating it, throw it in the trash, and get another one out the refrigerator, when you could have used the same. So those 12.5 natives that were killed were in slavery. So she is a descendant of that. So when people see that, see her, and say, no, you are just an African American, but she knows that she's Creek, because these are the people that told me that I'm Creek. Not her in particular, but my elders told me I'm Creek. Or I'm Native. When I was a child, I heard Cherokee. You know, we don't know in particular. I don't know who I am in particular, but what I do know is somebody been telling lies and it ain't her. I'm not gonna trust the government for nothing. Not a thing. That's y'all. That's what y'all do, not me. That's why that was part of the explanation I was trying to get to on why even that little black girl was with those Indians. Because by that time, we were already in slavery or whatever, and they already acquired, so it was like, yeah, I got a little slave girl, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, that was her own kind. That was their own kind. She was probably, if she was a slave or related to them, it don't matter. It's still one and the same, y'all. I want to also say, I got this from Dan Calloway, Indian, to say that somebody is Indian, it's like to say I'm an American. Why do you think they talk about tribes so much? Tribe is really like your family or whatever, or your race almost. It defines you more. Indian has nothing to do with, it's really a status. It's just like you're an American. That's why they sit here and have people like Justin Bieber funny, they got 1% or whatever, 3%, 10%, it don't matter. And then they can change their ethnicity, because to say that you're Indian is just like your nationality. All right, excuse me, Dan Calloway, I got this image from you. I'm not trying to steal, but I have to be honest on where I got it from. This is strictly for educational purposes. And this is the only one, I have more, but this is the only one I was really trying to show and display, because, I didn't have to. I'm so sorry. I didn't even have to do that. Let's see, hold on. Because I didn't even want to go through that. I said, let me do my own work. It ain't that hard. I can find it on my own. This is Cherokee Bill. From this is still his images. Let's see, hold on. He in here somewhere. I got him. Okay. Cherokee Bill from the Heart of They Fall. He was Lakeith Stainfield, Lakeith something. The black guy that played in there. Man, remember how I talked about recessiveness this whole time, right? What do y'all think? If he's Cherokee, his name is Cherokee because he's a Cherokee Indian, so to say. And this is his mama. It's a drawing of him. This is his pappy. They said he was mulatto. Fancy word for mixed. This is Cherokee Bill as a child. This is him and his mother again. This is a little biography of Cherokee Bill's father. I guess Orge or George. I don't know why. I don't know. Orge Gosby, a Pancho Villa, is shown on the right in uniform he wore when he was first sergeant in the American Army. Dallas obtained. Yeah, blah. The photograph on the left is Villa's wife and her son, Cherokee Bill, noted bandit and outlaw of pioneer days. hanged at Fort Smith. Villa is the father of Cherokee Bill. Villa was his other name. Oh, Pancho Villa, yeah. Pancho, and still, yeah, they call him mulatto. He probably was just mixed with Indian or white or something. I don't know, because they use mulatto for black and white. But as I'm proving now, that black is native, indigenous. But his wife and son don't. So that's just proving. I ain't just saying stuff randomly. I do have enough evidence, because all the stuff that I said as far as who's what, these Asians and folks, I was doing all that just to prove about us, honestly. Just letting y'all know how prominent we were, what type of people we were. But yeah, this is all the work I've been trying to do, y'all. I know it's just screenshots, so y'all say it ain't that hard. Trust me, it's hard, because up until here is everything is in order through the presentation wise. Everything else I showed you is just scattered. We're going to speed run through this though, real quick. Let's do a speed run, because we got to wrap this up. It ain't too much to prove at this point. These women right here are Indians, Native, whatever you want to say. The Hopi Indians. Look at their hair. Pay attention to this too. We're going to wrap that up too. Look at their hair though. That's going to help something for later on. That's relevant to today. Look at the recessive genes or whatever, or mixed. Now look at these folk. They ain't gonna show none of the black type of phenotypes or even skin complexions or whatever. They're gonna show all these different types, and all I can see are Hispanics. Y'all know how they say Mexicans are related to Indians, or they don't like it, they don't want to admit it, blah, blah, blah. It don't matter what you want to admit and stuff, because all this stuff even got correlated with the Mayans and the Aztecs and stuff to where, you know, it's just, we're all tied into one and the same. Like, I can't tell this person is not from the Northwest tribes, Yakima and Ned, or they're really just showing the phenotypes now. It's like, I just see same. There's no true variation to these people. Nothing is really differs. Maybe some nostrils may fan out a little bit more, but there's nothing. Y'all don't have nothing here. These are Hispanic men in my eyes. Just sick, man. And so when we see people like this, and she says she's Native, y'all gonna believe that and only trust that. That's that something bill, some oppressor or whatever. Notice how they with these reddish, maybe dark type of hue, middle range hue natives. They don't got the dark ones though. They probably are, it's just hard to tell, but look at the skin. This is a white man, this is a native. Who in the helicopter told him he was native? It's either two things. You're not the original, and or you're not the only one. Neither one of y'all. Y'all are not original, and or the only one. She's bright, has recessive genes, allegedly, or whatever. I can see how I'm picking sides and stuff, but she's more than they are. Because interesting, when that movie, Harder They Fall, the main character was also Native, and he looked like a straight black man. Wish I had his picture. And he made a story that Dane Calloway shared, and in the story it talked about how he got kidnapped or something by another tribe, and he said some of them were mixed and some of them were full blood. Yeah. Go to Dan Calloway YouTube. All right. So to go back full circle now, look at him too. There's another one. I'm just being a bully now. Let me stop. Shout out to Sun God Mazani. I didn't even like the picture and I gave him a shout out. My bad, bro. I didn't like the picture. That's probably why. Yeah. So go back to this Olmec. Everything that we shared today what can you now say about this? They can either be from Africa, and they're in the southernmost regions of South America, whatever. Something like that, I don't know. They're just in South America. But they're either African that traveled and now became a new people, or they could be Asian. But either way, you just told me that just means it's just two different types of black folk. The panel from the painting, in the Larco Museum in Lima, Peru. This panel depicts the last Inca emperor, Emperor Atahualpa, and the subsequent first European emperor of the Inca, Holy Roman Emperor Charles Quinto. Charles Quinto. Why are these two black people? They said that man from Europe. It's a reason why they say these things, and it's the reason why they paint these pictures like this. And what you find out, these be the original pictures, and you find the same type of picture that's been flipped, and I can prove that. When we say that the Greeks were black and stuff like that, and all this, the original kings and queens of Europe were black. You're like, no. This is a Mayan drawing, I believe. Now, it's another one. I don't know if this was generated by people, modern people or whatever. I just want to pay attention to the complexions. Because as you can see, it kind of has like a little dark shade. But you can clearly see who the black folks is. And you can see that it seems like this must be the leader of these people. And it's the leader of those people. Probably be Aztec and Mayans or something meeting up about to fight it out for some. I don't know. But it's clearly, they knew who they had. Oh, dang, I needed this picture actually. This is the picture I needed because this shows Queen Khalifa in America. I want to talk about how they mess with the images. Riding on a crocodile or something like that. Can't tell. I think this is a crocodile head or something. But this Queen Khalifa, for those who don't know, this was the Queen of California. California used to be a whole kingdom. It was black Indians, basically. Natives, indigenous people. But boom, you have a variation. There goes a crocodile or whatever, an alligator, whatever it is. But now they're brighter now. Excuse the bosom for those who may be showing this in a classroom setting, but look at the man hairline and stuff. This ain't black people. They do hair do grow like this, but not like that aggressive though. This is like European influence all over it. All over it. All over it. European everywhere. And they still had to make, oh yeah, she can stay black, but not too black. Look at that again now. More clear version. He's still praying. He ain't gonna stop praying because he know who his guy is. Y'all don't. Maybe the black people that be want to argue. I'm mad, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I'm mad. I'm big mad. Boom. Other image of how they manipulate. Now these fellas over here to the right are the native people of the land. Let's say native. You're just sticking with that. Native people of the land. And then, you know, meeting up with some Europeans. But when you see this, what you think, like, I thought y'all was already fine. I could have sworn they were fine. We're just dealing with from going to black and then just going with, I thought this was the problem. This complexion was the problem. So let's go to this, which still is a black person, but ain't as black. So why is it that this is not good enough? Because it changed to that. And you know that these are two different images. For those of my artists who pay attention to the definition, you can even look at the water. I don't even got to look at the people yet. You can look at the water and zoom in. Other artists done already probably seen some difference. Look at the coastlines. Look at that coastline. Look at this one. What they tried to do. Oh no, I got it over here. Hold on. This is what they tried to do. It's the original. Get the head position of these two. This one is looking, I guess, forward. This one is also looking forward. Pupil or whatever you can tell, looking forward. But now it's like coming down, and they're looking down a little bit forward. Now these are not the same images. They tried. Yeah, like, this is like a genie coming out the bottom, and they just got a, I don't know what they got, a pimp cup or something, I don't know. Black Madonna. Now, I feel personally they put that name there because I don't know if Madonna just means Mary in another language, but that's a good way to hide it. I've even saw somewhere where they tried to say that this is another verb, these are different though, they're not the same as Jesus and Mary. I'm like, well, what are they, the Antichrist and his mama? Since y'all always trying to make it seem like black is bad, who are they? Why would they do this? Why do they do these things? Why do they do this stuff? Why? It's fabrication. Look at the Dark Ages and stuff. When they started with really manipulating and burning history down and stuff like that. Yeah. Boom. Jesus and Mary, I love you. Well, I ain't even going into religion and stuff, and I bet y'all still feeling mad. Oh, you can't say that. I was just looking up when the Aztecs started in the Mayans or whatever, just try to see who was who. This is what I was talking about. I try to test everything I'm seeing, but I seen articles, or not articles, somewhere else on the internet saying that the Mayans were after the Olmecs, but it says 26, and I told you that the Olmecs ran from around 16, so 16 BC before Christ, whatever you want to have, or you let you remember this. 16 BC is after 2600 BC, because it's different. It goes down to zero, then when zero, it starts off from zero all the way to 2021, where we're at right now, 22. So it don't even matter if we talk about that. Who was here first? Aztecs, Mayans, Olmec. It don't matter. They were still black folk. You can't stop the rain. Yeah, I was just going through this bit. I was trying to even go into like the geographic influences. I was wondering like if we all weren't from Africa and if the earth was one large mass, once it broke and started separating for many millions of years, those people who ever lived in certain areas still stayed there, they just got separated. That could be a possibility. And the reason they could have still all been black, because like I said, black is dominant. Well, I didn't say that, but I kept just picking on the recessiveness. And this is all I'm saying. If somebody lived, I don't know, let's just say, it's kind of hard to even go from the first humans and stuff. I'm not about to be talking about no Adam and Eve and stuff like that. Well, we can use it. Adam and Eve in Africa somewhere. They started here, whatever. Had kids, boop, 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 boop. Which I know this didn't happen, but they just started. Over time, it just started spreading with a bunch of incest going on, basically. So it doesn't even make sense already. But hey, after with your cousin, it's cool, huh? After your third cousin. But, they spread it all over, then it started to break up. When the Americas and stuff started to break up, and all these things started to shift. This kind of stayed here. I guess Africa just got more position. I don't know. The people still going to be, they're going to be still on these technically giant islands or now continents, different continents. That could have been a way how, we're all related and stuff, but I wanted to, and I'm going to wrap it up now. I know it may not seem like it, but I really did work hard at this, y'all. Let me make sure it's still recording. All right. Yes, I didn't go past 2 hours, so, For those who watch, the elders, your Dr. Phil Valentine, Bobby Hemmett, Dr. Africa and stuff. You know, these lectures and things go long, and I wasn't trying to call it a lecture because I don't feel, and I'm in the proper position to call it that. But I strive to be an intellect, a scholar, or whatever you want to say. And but I really want to keep things as small as possible. But when you're passionate about something, you're going to really say this. And this is the start of my, hopefully, legacy to educate my people on things that they should know. Because this is not going. This is just the start, y'all. I'm not even going to talk about the phenotypes and stuff no more. Actually, so don't worry. It's going to get better or worse depending on who's listening. Let's see. This individual by the name of Binot Lecomte. This man swam basically from, I thought it was from Africa to the Americas. Let's see. From 16th July to September 25th, 1998, Lecomte undertook a swim in stages. He had help from Hyannis, Massachusetts to Queanbeyan, Brittany, France. I don't know. I'm guessing he was in America. I do know, like Europe, they have the same type of stuff going on as far as state-wise. I'm gonna have to look this up real quick. Hold on. Let's see. Let's just pick that. Just to verify. I knew that it was Americas. Well, heck, I didn't know what it was. I thought the man went from Africa. Just gonna plug up this phone real quick. I won't need this to be on the charger. All right. In a second, you guys. I'm gonna wrap this bad boy up. Thank you all for the ones who stuck with me. I appreciate it because this, like I said, this is the start to many more. So yeah, of course, the Massachusetts in America. This was no other Massachusetts, but we do know why they call New England or New York new and stuff like that, because it used to be part of something else. And then France. Spain, France, okay. So he went from, Lord, they find everything to do under the sun versus tell the truth. Here, 71 days. I believe that was the 71 day. It didn't take a year to go from here to here. And took breaks. Probably swam a little bit. Oh, I'm tired, y'all. The boat was already following him. They stopped, took a break, whatever. He probably tried to travel some more. Of course, he wasn't covering this much ground in no day. I'm just, They say he was taking breaks like, let's see. Let's finish this. Hmm. 73 day. Okay. And it was all for a good cause. I leave this up to read for y'all to read because I'm tired of reading. It's the reason why I'm talking about this. Two final points I want to make actually. So I already know about his story. He done did a bunch of swimming stuff that unnecessary and stuff. These are the notes I needed. This is talking about how the Asians or whatever could have found their way over here. That's where you got the Eskimos and stuff. That's why they look Chinese or whatever. Whoop-de-doo, whoop-de-doo. People still got boats at the end of the day. God's one thing I want to read to y'all. Oh, that ain't go too fast. These are the Aztec people. Yeah, Aztec couple. You know, actually, let's stop because I'm still supposed to be talking about this map for a second. Y'all don't have to get into this just yet. I'm almost done though. Just making sure. And these are more, this was just a jump fact. Well, not jump, but yeah, so we're actually done. But to go to this map though still, he went from here to here in 71 days. Now, there's a story, those don't know, about Mansa Musa. Mansa Musa was the richest person in the world. Nobody can top his network or whatever. He was a trillionaire. But we don't got to dwell on him because he came to power because he basically inherited it. He inherited because his brother wanted to set sail. And his brother died. And the reason why he died or he never showed up because he set sail to just travel, you know, never came back. And they said only one ship came back out of 1,000. They said 1,000 ships set sail. 1,000 ships set sail to go anywhere. And only one ship came back to say they never made it back. They all got destroyed. Now that could be true because over here, a lot of things can happen. That's why old boy, he wasn't gonna swear from her to her in 71 days with no help. And plus it was in more in the modern day, so they had weather trackers and stuff like this of their knowledge. But nevertheless, we give the man more power and we look at them as these gods and stuff, or we glorify them or whatever and say that they can do this. But when we talk about our own, or when we let them talk about our own people and tell us stories about somewhere, telling 1,000 ships couldn't make it here, like the currents flow this way, mind you. So you don't even necessarily, they say that Africans couldn't have set sail because they have canoe type ships. If you was literally just floating or you was on some type of raft and you just let it go, if you didn't die by starvation and the other elements, you would make it somewhere without even a paddle. That's why the transatlantic slave trade happened like that, and it ended up in America because they couldn't go this way. I mean, where was there to really go anyway? They could really just march or something if they wanted to. You have to go around. I don't know. It's probably like a peninsula or something. Canal, I mean. Or maybe a peninsula. You do this in 71 days, but 1,000 folks can't go here. Don't buy it. And that's when they said that they said their only claim on that and proof of that saying because this is our earliest or the only record that we have, earliest and only record that we have of when Africans tried to set sail. Meanwhile, I have evidence of saying just go out the dome. Let's see. Humans, yes. Keep it that 73 days in your mind, though. I was thinking of how old is the human race? While our ancestors have been around for 6 million years, the modern form of humans only evolved about 200,000 years ago. Civilizations as we know it is only about 6,000 years old, and industrialization started in the earnest only in the 1800s. But basically, if somebody can swim in 71 days, several thousands of miles, but he needed help though still. And let's say Mansa Musa's brother was doing this stuff around 1,000. I forgot how long he lived. He probably was just probably lived about a couple of thousand or a century ago or something. I'm not sure. It doesn't matter, but around this time, they're saying that this is the earliest records that we have, though, of this. Well, he probably lived like 100 years, a few hundreds of years ago or something. I'm not sure. It doesn't matter. If we just our specific category of human species or whatever been around for 200,000 years, I wouldn't expect you to know what went on way back then. So that's why you can entertain this whole Pangea stuff and all this. So now we're gonna get into my theory about this map, though. Let's go back 200,000 years now, and we can even just because I don't know. I'm not gonna do that. 200,000 years. People already living here. Original man just lived here, and they had many people, and they just started to walk. They started to walk and stuff. It was going down here. So let's not even go there yet. Just start right here. Some people move here, some people move here. This was all used to be green anyway. But I'm here to say, even over time, when it's turned to a desert, the people live here and the people live here started to change. Apparently, it may have been more cooler down here, usually, because I believe the equator is somewhere around this area, or more upper areas or whatever. So it's warmer and stuff. Climate, elevation plays a point. That's why some of them are very tall, some of them are very small. I'm not saying elevation played a part into this, just saying that there are influences that causes our genetics to differ from each other. So now when they're starting to travel, you got the people who maybe have the genetic code. Let's just start with the A. Let's just start with A in the middle. Go up here, A might make a B now because the B was needed for the climate. They got a B, but they also got a C or something. Just keep it like the A, B, C, A, and A, B. Now let's just say it don't matter. They can migrate. These two area people migrate, end up coming, and then mate. Now they're mixing their DNA and doing a do, and then they're starting to disperse. So when it gets colder up here and stuff, and they're already getting advanced, so they're setting sail too. They're doing all these things. And they're getting genetically modified because humans we call ourselves humans, but we are still animals. When you get here and you check, now we up to now 2021, and I check my ancestry, and it says you don't have any Native American in you. You're from Ghana. It's over here. I don't know. I'm sorry, y'all. Or you have French or Irish Englishman in your blood or something. You're not Indian. Silly black man. Like I said earlier, when you get the indigenous folks who actually are bright with these recessive genes, and you test so many of them, and you finally find this common stuff about them, they got a little bit of Spanish in them and stuff, and they still be playing a part. They just don't be paying attention. And honestly, it's many people saying that you can't even use DNA as a thing because they say that people can have a whole, the DNA stuff can come back and show one line of family, and you can have a whole area of like Portugal. You can show like some Australian people in your bloodline, and it's showing that, but depending on how it goes or whatever, or what it can only do, it's only showing basically a specific form. But all I'm trying to say is, if these people came here by boat or whatever and migrated through here and stuff, came up, and now, I'm from Texas, so my people but I saw the Creek Indians migrate this way too. But if they come here, and let's say they just kept their genetic sequence, their genetic sequence as close as possible. They didn't really make too much outside of the people that they came with, or the people that they came with had generations, so those generations made it. And now you finally test me, and I'm still related to this because there wasn't too many variations to my bloodline. But then when you go here and you only test them, not to say that they probably were doing the same thing, but clearly, if we black here and we end up here and I'm still black, I'm gonna still have a lot of connections here. But if you started here and you go here and you end up looking like a light native or a Mexican or whatever, or Hispanic or something, then that means there were some variations going on because we still know everybody was black. You either turn white or bright because of mutation or through breeding. So don't take no ancestry stuff because it's not legitimate and you're wasting your money. Because you're having other people telling you who you are and you don't even know if they're even testing your stuff legitimately. There's an agenda behind it. The reason why they call us African Americans is mainly because of the land. If you can make 12 million people disappear off records, what you think you can do with all their assets? And what do you think is going to happen to their descendants? To where there's generations upon generations upon generations upon generations upon generations of people who don't even know how to take care of themselves and do things or maintain it. So they got this nappy hair. I'll say it now, this nappy hair. It's so crispy and dry. We don't have no knowledge of who we are. Y'all may not understand where I'm coming from, some of y'all, but those who do, kudos to you. Because it's like, when you take away our parents, how are we supposed to know anything? So the Caribbean people, dark. This is like a white woman, but look at the skin. Caribbean. I'm just gonna speed through this. I'm done. I'm actually pissed off. Here goes that Eurasian. That's where that stuff comes from. Buddha. What's interesting about this, Bobby Hemmett, shout out to Serious Songs. Bobby Hemmett was in the museum or whatever. And it was, looking at artifacts that were stolen, of course, because, especially over there in Europe, they got every type, like they said in the video, they got every type of art except for European art. But when they started going to the Indian section or whatever, and they started seeing the Hindu people, gods or whatever, and they saw Buddha, Shiva, and Shiva's wife and stuff like that. And they went, I guess, in another area or behind that shelf they were, or case, and then you see this. That's the hair, I believe. I don't know. Why y'all think Buddha be having BBs all through his hair like that? It's there for a reason. I want to show y'all this too because I'm had my little quote, but it was a very proud moment. I felt commissioned to do this almost, even though I told him I was going to do it. But Dane just let me know they meant a lot to me because it's like I do want to be a contributing factor to this to our people. I believe this was Sheba's wife or whatever. Sheba. I'm talking about the crypto. But look at her nose. Look at that nose. I can't zoom in because the quality is kind of poor. Nose is wide, but this is an Indian, it's supposed to be a deity. Indian deity. When you see that though, that's Asian. But that's an Indian person. Yeah, but the Asian's close by and they're in the same continent. Or they see this. Oh yeah, that's Greek. That's Greek. See how they knock off the stuff? Where my man's chin at, man? Knock off noses and chins. Y'all say it's anything besides black. After y'all done already proved, science done proved that black is dominant. Let's go back up here now real quick. And I can wrap it up actually. Ignore this crap. Go back, like I said, go to Dan Calloway. Ignore this stuff, y'all. This ain't even realistic no more. Like I said, this is part of the 12 million. This is where they tried to, I guess, have a way to, how many of these 10.7 million Africans were shipped directly to North America? Only about, wow, I didn't even know I had that. The number's off. If you go Google, it's going to say 12 million. Somewhere it's going to still have a 12, but 10 is not far from 12 as we can clearly see. How many of these 10.7 million Africans were shipped directly to North America? Only about 388,000. That's right, a tiny percent. So if they actually were shipped like this, it didn't happen too often or it wasn't that many. So what did all the other 12 million slaves show up? Because apparently, let's see, how many slaves were in North America? Let's see. Can't stop the rain. I like Chrome. I don't like Safari. Let's see something quick. This. I don't get. See, I go. It's something else. This desegregation. I just spilled it. I think I just put DI or D. I don't know. Let's see. How many? They ain't even gonna let you know. They're not gonna let you. They don't know. They don't know. Hell, I know more than them, and all I'm doing is taking screenshots. I think I got this from PBS. Shout out to PBS. PBS is the reason why I'm like this today, actually, even though they're funded by the people who tell lies too. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Let's go back and read this real quick. And I ain't forget what else I gotta do. I gotta go back and show something. The most comprehensive analysis of shipping records over the course of the slave trade is the transatlantic slave trade, edited by Professors David Eltis and David Richardson. While the editors are careful to say their figures are estimates, I believe that they are the best estimates that we have to proverbial gold standard in the field of the study of the slave trade. Between 1525 and 1866, in the entire history of the slave trade to the New World, according to the Transatlantic Slave Trade Database, 12.5 million Africans were shipped to the New World. 10.7 million survived the dreaded Middle Passage, disembarked in North America, the Caribbean, and South America. And how many of those 10.7 million Africans were shipped directly to North America? About 388. So yeah, I do know that the Caribbean played a part into that stuff too. We ain't nobody saying that ain't no Africans was taken from Africa, but we're saying it's not that it wasn't done like this all the time or at all. Because what Danish even showed, we don't even have names of ships. They name ships all the time. What was the name of Christopher Columbus stuff? Jesus Christ and pork and beans. You know, we know the name of their stuff, but we don't have no records of this. And you know that white people love putting their stuff down because they love documenting and they love flexing. My people. I just want to show this, just to show homage to the ancestors. This is for y'all. This is on this Thanksgiving Day. I'm doing this on a day of mourning. This is for y'all. I share. Let's go to these people real quick now. These are Aztec couples. Look at my man's nose. We gotta speed this up. I thought they were brothers and sisters and stuff. Something's going on, as you could tell. But they saying these are the last Aztecs. Y'all just got the ones that it seemed to me that were mentally, based off the physical features, it seemed like they because it's like they have the shrunken head thing going on. This happens when I forgot. I think when the mama do stuff, but that's just the things that we look at as mutation or genetic deformity was just probably a characteristic of a certain people. Probably wasn't nothing wrong with them, but the way they're hunched over and stuff, I don't know. Cause look how my man's just over them like he owned them, and that's what they do. They get the vulnerable, the weak. We're just gonna say allegedly they were like that though, but when you look at them, then who is this? Shout out to 336 _ Zaralana. It's the same people at this point. This sculpture was made for him, but this sculpture is 100 years old. Olmec, we do know. I mean, this is a drawing. Somebody could have recreated this recently, but you got the Fez with the Moors. This was also, they didn't show you all the Olmec statues. I probably can go back and show. They probably did have the tassel in the back or something like that on some of the ones I showed you. It just wasn't there. Indian was substituted for Moorish. In 1621, the word Indian was substituted for Moorish. They got drawings and stuff at the Fez still. Black man. I was just doing this like religion and stuff because I'm trying to see like how people go off the Bible and things of this matter. And I could go deep back with it, but I don't have the energy, honestly. And I don't even care at this point to be entertaining y'all, because y'all be trying to find anything. The Bible say this, the Bible say that. Well, according to the Bible, actually, let's go and do it. Let's go and do it. Because according to the Bible, certain of these people existed at the same time when Noah and Moses and all these other folks existed. Yes, I went there. I went all the way there to make sure. And I made sure at least for myself. But I'm going to go ahead and, since I made it this far, I can still wrap it up. Let's see. Yeah, I got to go. That's when I was talking about the Hittites or something like that. My brother here is talking about pale. The same root word, Old English black, B-L-A-K, because we do know how English was. When later on things got, they started adding letters, but just because they don't have a K on it, don't mean nothing. Because he spelled it like that. You see how they tried to correct it? Do you mean black? That's wordplay. The same root produced Old English black, bright, shining, glittering, pale. The connecting notions being perhaps fire, blah, blah, blah. It don't matter. I'm not reading all that because that's the wordplay. These black folks right here. And we are in Old English, these are the black folks. So now I guess we the new black people. That's why we can't go off that no more. And in law, black means dead. By law. By white means basically opposite. So we can't. Why are we even defining ourselves off of a color? I'm a black person. What? That's a mystery. Let's record. Can't stop the rain. I hope y'all really like this, man, because I put my heart into this, and I know I was kind of starting out a little stale, a little dry, trying to get my stuff going, but. Gonna let y'all pause that real quick just so you just wanna remember. So this is why I'm doing all this, because it's deeper than just land and all that stuff. It's like we just get mistreated and whatever. Who cares? I ain't even into all that. But this is the scriptures I was talking about. His head and his hairs were like his head and his hair were like white, like wool, as white as snow. You know how they look. They're gonna elaborate that. And his eyes were as a flame of fire. It's like, what? Flame of fire just means like this. I have a flame of fire eyes, the way I can look at people. And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace. What does burnt mean? Burn. When something is burned, when something is burned, when something is burned, this is what it looks like. This is a fake wood. It goes in the fireplace. Made out of glass or something. I forgot the thing. Where's a rock? I don't know. Hollow. But it's fake. But it's burned. This is soot. You want to know what brass looks like? 1 second. This is brass. So not only did it say this is brass, this is brass too, but I don't know if that's the paint or whatever, but go off either or. But let's just pay attention to this. Because how they do it is they make the fake brass or whatever, or the better brass, and then they'll paint it to make something that's more cheaper material look better. But right here, burned brass though. They didn't say his skin was like brass. Burned brass. Burned brass. Burned brass. Rose gold. Burned brass. shoot. Let me tell you. It's here in line of us. More Asians. Where was I going to now? Now I actually forgot. Imposter. You just straight up and I know you fake. And they got the sister cut off. You see, you can tell when people really be culture appropriating or whatever. This is truly culture appropriation or whatever, or what's the word? Infiltration, actually. She got everything, all bedazzled or whatever, and then the sister got her braids in. That's all she needed, and her blood. That's all she needed, and the skin. That's enough proof right there to show that you're native. You don't need them beads and stuff. And stop letting these Indians out here tell you who they are, because they are the sub Indians. Let's see. I should have wrote down what I was about to say. It's so much stuff in here. This is where Dan Calloway's talking about how certain words will switch around. So not only here it is. The Old Testament is the original Hebrew Bible, the scarce scriptures of the Jewish faith, written at different times between 1200 and 165 BC. Before Christ. Didn't I show y'all the higher the number, the more further back the people are. The Olmecs started coming around 1600 BC. Allegedly, if the Mayans were older than them, which really doesn't, they all could be from the same people, or I don't know. But it showed that the Mayans were coming around from 2600 BC. So these people existed before the Bible was even thought of. Tribe of Levi, that's my homie. He told me who he was in his tribe. I just looked him up. You know, I care about all this stuff. How many different Native American tribes? 574. And just in those tribes, how many of those people existed or whatever? Just from those tribes, just imagine how many thousands upon millions of people. And how many tribes was actually wiped out from that 574? Or brought into slavery? Because yeah, they did still kill them. But they put them to work too. Here it is. How many Native Americans were killed? In the ensuing email exchange, Thornton indicated that his own rough estimate is that about 12 million indigenous people died in what is today the Conterminos, I've never seen that word before, United States between 1492 and 1900. Dang, that's recent. 60, this number of deaths is almost 2.5 times the estimated decline in the indigenous population during this time. You kill people by physical force, also by paper. Dan Calloway talks about this stuff, and this is why I want to refer y'all to him and redirect y'all to that, because that's where I actually started to get to this. I kept seeing so much of his stuff, and I believe I saw some things about phenotypes to him. I'm not too sure, but he strictly tried to. We don't gotta look at no pictures, honestly. All this stuff I did, we don't got to. Let's go to the paperwork. Let's go from your grandmama. Let's go back to her daddy, and let's go back to his daddy, and let's look. And we're gonna start to find a trend where some of these people have some of these indigenous names, these Native American type names, or they live in these areas that was like tribes and stuff. And then you also see that these slave ships didn't exist, and you find out that they assassinated our people through paper. The pen. You know what the Cold War is? They call it a Cold War because it wasn't a real war. It wasn't the war that you thought. It wasn't no fire and guns and cannons going off. It was silent. It's just the Cold War been going on since certain type of people started trying to infiltrate. So after we showed certain type of people how to take a bath and take care of themselves, then they started taking over our kingdoms and things of this matter. And then they started, and they never stopped. And then now we have interviews of people talking about, show me a continent show me a continent that's better than America. And the white woman, she couldn't really say, because she was trying to stand up for us. But this is why I say, even people who try to stand up for us, we can't even allow them to speak if they don't know the information. But also, we can also allow them to speak because it's not us. We need people to do that, and that's why I'm doing it. I had to realize if it is to be, it's up to me. I had to realize if I want certain changes, I need to do things too. And you're going to have to do the same thing. There's some other stuff that correlates with this that's outside of phenotypes that still need to be established that's meant for you to do that. Moses, now, man, we can wrap this up. I was trying to look up lines and stuff, trying to find a correlation with animals and stuff. You know, I only did the quotes because, you know, we call ourselves humans, but we the ones that act like the animals. Vision Bible. Queen Africa. Let's go down since I can't see it. Find it real quick. Look at the phenotypes. Pause it if you need to. I'm going to go by fast, bro. Look at the phenotype. Shout out to American Indios. Just followed them on Instagram. They're the truth. I need to go back and like these pictures too. My bad, y'all. I'm using y'all stuff and not giving y'all the likes, but I'm gonna give you the credit because we all in this the same. So I don't want to hear nobody trying to yell at me, telling me we are Hebrew Israelites. We're the original people. Nigga, we don't even know if the Bible and certain stuff like that is even legitimate. But even based off the Bible, it's still telling us that we're black though. Whether the Bible is legitimate or not, there's proof through the features, through the archaeological findings, through the paperwork, and through the Bible that you sit there. When we see statues like this, oh, that's an Indian, right? Or, yeah, he an Indian, but what he really look like? I don't know. Japanese? Y'all play too much. I love this picture. Hold up. Man, Bobby, man, he the truth. He was so happy when he saw it. I just want to find one last thing that correlates with the Bible when we're talking about Abraham and stuff of that matter. Pause it if you need to see this information just to read. I'm going through it fast. Some of these things may matter, may not matter. Let's see. These to my Aztecs and Mayans. Y'all research, yes, you could do it online, but hey, go to the library. The books still ain't. I never said books be telling lies. All books tell lies. I just said they're not safe from manipulation. Arab people, 7th century AD. So now I'm trying to go find like these Abraham people who are related to the Abrahamic folk. All right, Hittites. 1600 BC. I could have sworn I told y'all that's where the Mayans, the Olmec people are. When I read when it was 16, I didn't show it, but when I read it at 1600, all it said is that when they started to become present, but who are them to say that these people popped up at 1600? And then they say that they're the oldest people, but then you see that the Mayans were way back in 26. But then also on top of that, when you start looking into the Mayan, Aztecian type of people, you see their paintings and their art and or people who trying to depict them. Maybe this was a European trying to make this, but the European tell the truth about who the king was and telling the truth about who the people that they found. So it doesn't matter. Inca, I forgot what Inca was. I think they're related to they are. Of course they are, but they're still a part of the same thing. Inca was black, so I don't care. Aztec, Mayan, Olmec, Kishiko, Nikki, Samuel, it don't matter. They're black. From 26, and it's older than the Bible. So I don't want nobody telling me about no Hebrew Israelites and because we can still be related in a way, but the proof I'm showing is we're predating before the Bible. Even before the slave trade. I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna leave this alone. I'm gonna wrap this up. It's gonna be over. Muhammad was living after Jesus, of course. What it is. So, if the Bible, and I'm just gonna hit it, and it's gonna be my next thing, I'm already giving, I guess, little stuff. And I really don't, I may change my mind, but still, let you know how I at least think. If the Bible was created around after the death of Jesus or something like that, of course, because they have to document it. And then you got the Hittites and stuff. They was it 1600 BC. Some calculated lifespan of Moses correspond. So Moses and stuff, not to debunk or nothing like that. It's just how can this stuff really be the truth and stuff, or the only way to live life when our ancestors that I've shown our ancestors by our color, our phenotypes or our complexion, our ancestors lived before these people. So I can't even go off of when they talk about Mansa Musa brother. Mansa Musa brother didn't he didn't make it and stuff. It didn't matter. We don't even gotta pay attention to him. History been going back so long, and we could either at one point we could even probably walk to different parts of the world because it was all connected. Or you can literally float because we got this whole white person or whatever, whoever he was, I don't know, swimming, even though he needed help. You're supposed to die doing stuff like that. An accident can even happen. It don't gotta be weather related. You can literally get eaten. Of course, they probably had radars and everything saving that boy. It don't matter though. Stop letting people tell you what it is, whether it's online or even it's in the books. Yeah, it ain't gonna give me. $1,981 years to AD plus 1. That's still like younger than, that's still, I don't even know how to find it because this is what they do. Noah lived for 76 years. He lived 950 years. There you go. Noah Ben was born 2,446 BC in Shulon, East Eden. It's not to make a, y'all ain't my business. It's not to make a big deal about, I'm not trying to argue about knowing his existence and stuff like that, but it's to still go back to this. And this is why you can't let people online with 2 pictures determine centuries upon centuries upon centuries of people. Peace.
Secret lights, snacks and stops, time to go, raise the clock. Smoke my tape, bump this beat, down the street, never look. What the love is all the problems, this true love, is the love. Never come, never come, down here, too much here, no one back, never here. Never here, what you trying to do?
Before I go, these three lovely women right here is my girlfriend's ancestors. I do not know in particular who is who to her, but they are her blood relatives. As we all can see, that they look like the same as people like, let's move them actually. Let's see. Right here. This lovely woman does not differ from this indigenous young girl. Maybe not identical, but hey. Now, I couldn't let it go, huh, y'all? I was supposed to end it in the video. Some people probably didn't clicked off. Let's see. Shows that y'all was just ready to X the dude out. I'll be surprised if y'all even made it this far. Let's see, let's go down here, actually. Go down here, let's go down here. There they go. Boom. It's the point I want to make about certain cultures influencing others. Look at their hair. Now you look at that. And I'll lay that for your imagination.
You gotta show me what you want to be, baby. I can't do nothing, but your body calling me. Say you want me, but you don't love me. You just want to shine too much, where you want it right now. So let's find out.